Hi everybody, Cakewell here, welcome to today's video. Today's video is your getting started guide to FreeBSD. Now what is BSD? Well, BSD is Unix. It stands for Berkeley Software Distribution because it was developed at the University of Berkeley, I think. It was I'm sure it was University of Berkeley, something like that anyway. It stands for Berkeley Software Distribution. It's kind of a fork of System 5 Unix. It's actually very easy to use, but you can't just use it if you say, oh yeah, I know how Linux works, I can use FreeBSD. No, it doesn't work like that, because it is slightly different. But you can do most things that you can do with Linux on FreeBSD, and it is proper Unix, it's not rewritten Unix. I know I'm going to get absolutely paved for that, but anyway, so I'm going to do it in VirtualBox here, just because I haven't set up my Sunblade 2500 workstation yet. Let's just put 2 in brackets there. So FreeBSD 30, I'm going to go with 32-bit because I have that already downloaded. Give it 40 gigs of hard drive space, and I want to start it up. I have downloaded the ISO image already. I'm not going to tell you how to download the ISO image because you just have to go to FreeBSD and download the correct one for your architecture. I can't emulate Spark on a non-Spark, so I'm just going to emulate x86. So it's going to boot from the disk, and it should ask you to press enter. So press enter there. So I'm going to install it with, first of all I'm going to install just FreeBSD, then I'm going to install XFCE to FreeBSD. And it's not difficult to install XFCE in FreeBSD. You just have to put 3 commands in one configuration file and one other command in one other configuration file, so it's really not difficult. Okay, so press enter to install, and I'm going to go to United Kingdom key map, and you want to select your key map here. Continue. Host name test2, I'm going to call it what you want here. Press enter. Press enter again, we don't need any of this. And we want to go down to ZFS, press enter, and press enter again, press enter again, press spacebar, press enter, press yes, press enter, and that is going to go through and overwrite your disks. I'm not going to be held responsible for anyone who screws up their hard drive attempting to install FreeBSD. So it's now going to install FreeBSD. That's it, we're at the installation process page. It is installing now FreeBSD. It's that simple to do. It's really not difficult at all in any way. I think that has just failed actually. Oh no, it hasn't. Oh well. So it's going to extract all the stuff off the DVD or CD. It is actually small enough to fit on a CD, so one of about the only things that fits on a CD now. It is very quick as well. When you get it installed on Real Metal, it's really quick. And you get basic XFCE out of the box, but you can pretty much install anything you want. I will show you how to change the default shell to Bash rather than SH, so that you can use Screen Fetch or Neo Fetch, but you would have to compile Neo Fetch, or you could get the deb file, decompile it and recompile it, but it's probably easier to compile it from source. So this doesn't take long. It's really a matter of click enter until it gets to this stage. There isn't much to do after this apart from adding users to groups. It's definitely not difficult at all. So 70% complete at the moment, as you can see. still haven't worked out how to pause in in OBS, so that's one thing I don't like about OBS, is you can't pause the recording. A bit annoying, but anyway, you can't have everything. I have actually redone my desk setup here, so if you don't know, I acquired a Sun Microsystems Sunblade 2500 Silver edition workstation yesterday. It's got one UltraSpark 3i processor at 1.6 GHz. It's a RISC architecture, not CISC. 4 gigs of error checking DDR1 RAM, and it is now my main workstation. I'm just on the Intel workstation at the moment until I can get a hard drive in Caddy. I have ordered the hard drive, but I didn't order a Caddy with it because I completely forgot about that. So I'll get a Caddy for it. It's a very clean workstation. I'm going to do a review on it, but it is in absolutely excellent condition. I've got a nice 20-inch HP monitor with it. Nice 2 Sun keyboards, a Sun mouse, a Dell keyboard, and a Dell mouse. Sun keyboards are pretty nice. I did have to clean them up, but they are pretty nice. The Sun mouse is nice as well. I do like the Sun Microsystems logo. I think that's really cool. And as I say, it is the Silver edition, so it can support up to 2 processors, 2 1.6 gig UltraSpark 3i processors, and 16 gigs of DDR1 error checking RAM. I will probably, hopefully, eventually upgrade it to either 8 or 16 gig of RAM, but for now 4 is absolutely fine. So it's going to do all my main tasks like YouTube video recording, video transcoding, emailing, web browsing, YouTubing, that kind of thing. Then I've got my secondary workstation here to do exactly the same thing, but when I get bored of Spark I can have it on x86. This one's going to be mainly used for virtualization though. So here we want to set a password for root. You do want to set the root password different from your user password. So punch in a password. Easy. Press enter to configure the network. We want to use IPv4 and we do want to use DHCP, and it'll acquire a DHCP address from your router. It really is simple. It's absolutely not difficult at all. I'm not going to use IPv6, and press enter. Find your time zone. Mine's United Kingdom. Yeah. Set date, set time, and then we want to press enter again here because we don't need any of this. And we want to press enter again. We do want to add users, so press enter. Username, Cherry, full name. We want to leave that empty. Press enter on this one, and then type wheel. And that will basically add you to the elevated privileges user group, so you'll be able to do lots of things. You need to do that, by the way, otherwise you might have issues. Press enter, 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 type in a password, press enter, type in a password again. Press enter, type yes, press enter, type no, press enter, and we're now going to exit the installer. This normally does take a little while, I don't know why, but it does. Maybe because it's running virtually. Not sure. But as you can see, that is FreeBSD now installed, so it's not difficult. It really isn't difficult. I don't know why people think it's difficult. Installing XFCE or LXDE or KDE or GNOME or anything on it is not difficult either. In fact, it's far from difficult. I actually think FreeBSD and OpenBSD, NetBSD, all of them are easier to configure than some Linux distros. Like Arch is much more complicated than this. Gen 2 is much more complicated than this as well. I don't even know why, but OpenBSD is more complicated than this. But I've used FreeBSD for a while and I like FreeBSD. I'm more fond of OpenBSD for servers, but that's just me. Press enter because we don't want to do any more manual configuration in the shell. And press enter to reboot. That's it. That is your FreeBSD installed. You will then be prompted to log in. And in the next video I will show you how to install XFCE desktop environment and Slim Login Manager to your FreeBSD operating system. Thanks very much for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, thumb the videos up, and I'll see you all really soon for another Cherry Bakewell FreeBSD video.